Sailor Moon Crystal Imposterous, a game by Richard Garfield, published by Japanime Games. The publisher asked me, hey, I know you liked some of our games in the past. Would you like to take a look at this one? I said yes, also because I really much like Sailor Moon. It's a fun franchise. I read the comics, the manga, like we say in the biz. I watched the cartoons, and also my daughter Amelia likes it very much. So that's something that, we can do together. We're just rewatching the TV show, for example, the anime, like we say in the biz. We're rewatching the anime these days. So I thought, well, it's going to be cool. After taking a look at the game, reading the rules, I realized that this is not a game that I'm going to play. So this video is different from many of mine. This is not going to be a review, but an overview. I'm going to show the components, I'm going to tell about the rules, I'm going to explain why I'm not going to play this game, and also why it may still be a game for you, because hey, just because it's not going to work for me does not mean it won't work for you. It is a game for 3 to 12 players, so mainly a party game, really. And it's one of those rare games in which you don't have a single winner, but you have a single loser. So if you're playing with 12 players, you may play for like an hour, so that just one player loses the game and everybody else wins. And right there, that's not the kind of energy, that's not the kind of just feel that I particularly enjoy in games. I like to win, and if I lose, I like either to be, well, 2 players, 1 loser, 1 winner, that's fine, or otherwise I like to lose with other people, so I have that consolation. The idea of playing just to kick out a single game, a single player, just does not excite me. But again, in a party game, that may just work. Also, again, these days I'm playing with my alone, I'm playing a lot of games, solitaire. I'm also playing with my family, so up to 4 players, my kids, and then mom, where we convince her to play. I just don't feel comfortable yet having a big game night without a friend, so I'm not gonna play with a high count. I wouldn't play with a high count of players anyways. But again, I'll tell you also why when the pandemic is finally fully completely over, I'm still not gonna probably play this game as a party game with my friends. Well, right there, I don't like the idea of kicking out a single player, but there are more reasons. So you're gonna have these nice pencils here and a pad. People are gonna write things on those pads. This is a party game in which players will give answers to questions. Fairly common situation, fairly common idea in party games. You're gonna have this board, and players are gonna have their standee representing the pretty guardians, and as they give different answers, game effects will cause them to move up or down the board. The general idea is that there is an imposter among the guardians, and you have to figure out which is the one that's pretending to be whom she, or if you're playing with this dude, he is pretending to be. So basically, you will have questions, and players will score answers, and you will score the most based on the kind of matching answers. So you want your answers to be as popular as possible. If your answer to a certain question matches what 5 people have said, then you have 6 points, yours plus 5 other people. If you're the only person that gave a single answer, then that answer is only 1 point. So you will answer, everybody will write down their answers. You will score them basically based on similarities. You want to answer the kind of answers that you think other people are also writing down. The people that write the most unpopular answers, so they will be low in rank and they will go down. Game effects will cause them instead to go up. Also, there are tokens that you can assign to people if they give particularly awesome answers, and players can also use these tokens to move up. So at some point, somebody will probably fall off the board because they keep giving answers that don't match the people's answers. They fall off the board and they lose, and that's the game, and that's the idea. And again, in a party game, I see how that may work. Again, if only there was a way. not two. Play for an hour to kick out a single player, maybe out of 10. Now, when it comes to the questions, here's when it gets really tricky. You have this nice box here. I think it's a cool box. I guess that shows that I'm old, because sometimes when you're like, hey, this is just a nice box, you just get strangely fascinated by boxes that have that ineffable quality of being nice boxes. So this nice box has a bunch of questions, and the idea is somebody will draw a card, a die will be rolled determining which question is the one that we're answering now. Players write down their answers. Now, I think this game is based on a previous party game that didn't have a specific topic. Here's when it gets weird to me, when you have a party game that has a trivia element, has a specific topic that some of these questions address and some don't. So, for example, this card is the one we're all answering, and we draw this symbol here, so that is the question. What are 3 things that the Sailor Guardian secret base beneath Game Center Crown could use? Or if you roll that symbol there, what are 4 locations you'd like to visit in the series? But it may also be that you roll a completely neutral question, such, what are 3 ways to fill the blank? Blank around. Like, mess around, fool around, going around like a virus, etc., etc., etc. So this is when it's a little bit strange to me, because I understand a party game that doesn't have a specific topic, and it's always like, what are 3 popular ice creams? What is Beyonce's best song? What is this or that? That's even, the Beyonce thing is already specific, because I'm not particularly expert in that. So, what are great destinations for vacation? So if all the questions are general or generic and people are just trying to get what is the zeitgeist, what is the many people would say, I get it. I also get it if it's very specific, and then you can expect everybody, it's all about Star Wars. And then to start with, you play the game with Star Wars people. Now, the rulebook says there are no wrong answers. There are no wrong answers. But there really are, because true, you can write whatever you want. But ultimately, if some people know the TV show or the manga or the anime, and some people don't, well, there's no reason for the people who do know the source materials not to reference them. Because then you'll know that you have better chances, not completely random, better chances of those answers matching. And so, again, here's the weird thing. If you're playing with somebody who knows the TV show, and somebody who doesn't, the people with the TV show will probably start mentioning locations that are important in the TV show and get better chances of people that are just writing whatever. Again, it's legal, it's allowed to write whatever you want, but the game does give you an incentive, if you know the answers from the TV show, to provide it because you have better chances of having matches. And for right there, that's the simple practicality. If my daughter Amelia and I were playing with the other kid, Louisa will get destroyed because Louisa has no knowledge of the TV show or the comic books. And Amelia and I do. And right there, we would have a lot more matches than somebody who's just going randomly. So this is kind of like a weird thing that I find in the design of this game that seems to be a bit of a mix between a generic, crowd-pleasing party game with something, for everybody. Where everybody can just project whatever they want. Like games like Say Anything or Blank Slate. So some of these questions have that element, like this one. This is very similar to what you have in Blank Slate, for example. But then you also have the trivia element, which is very specialized and will give an advantage when a trivia question is rolled for people that know that. So that is why this game is not going to work in my family right now. But also, again, well, I would hesitate probably to play it as a generic party game with a game night. Just a game night, with adult friends. Because, again, for them, it's like, what would Mamoru do? What would Ray, what kind of job would Ray apply to? that's just completely weird and random for people that don't know the TV show, and actually gives a huge advantage to people who do know the source materials. So, Imposterous is just a bit of an unusual design for me, and again, one that I'm not super inclined to play, because I told you to start with, I'm not a big fan of the kind of victory conditions that we have here. Most importantly, if you need to either play with a group of people that, well, you need to play, I believe, with a group of people that have a similar knowledge of the TV show, which probably will be a lot or none. It's just the kind of thing that people get passionate about, and so either you have never watched it or you're a big fan. But of course, if you have a bunch of people that do not know the TV show or the comics, why would you bring out this game to start with? Okay, we're gonna have a game about these pretty guardians just completely ignore the theme entirely, or you need to have a group where everybody's familiar with it. So it's a hybrid between a general and a specialized party game that you could play as either. Just I don't see much of the point of playing as a general party game. But if you play as a specialized party game, then you need to make sure that it's your Sailor Moon Club you're playing it with, because you need everybody to more or less have a similar understanding of the TV show or the comics, so that the game is fair. Otherwise, honestly, I don't need, my daughter Amelia and I and Luisa, we do not need to play the game to know that Luisa will lose, because that's just what happened. Luisa's answers don't have a chance of matching ours. Not any chance that is significant. So this is my overview of Imposterous. Again, a game that probably you will love if you play with your Sailor Moon Crystal Club. But a game that I'm not going to play, and I'm still happy that I gave you an overview, so maybe you still learn something about the game, and maybe, despite the fact that it's not for me, it'll turn out that it is for you, and I hope that'll be the case, because I'm always happy when I can connect people with games that they may enjoy. This is not just a game that I think is going to work for my family or for my group of friends.